We just had another deadly wrong-way crash on a valley freeway. DPS says a woman driving a sedan northbound in the southbound lanes of I-17 south of downtown Phoenix died when she crashed head-on into a pickup truck at around 3:30 yesterday morning.
But these crashes and the number of wrong-way driving incidents seems to be becoming less frequent. So we were wondering, has something changed to make it safer? Are we on a lucky street? We don't know. Joining us in studio, DPS Sergeant Aaron Andrews.
Sergeant, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. We're basing that belief that wrong-way incidents are falling on a map of media-reported wrong-way incidents in the Phoenix area that our TV partners at ABC 15 maintain. But you've got official statewide statistics that show the same thing?
Yes, so the stats that I provided you guys are just the DPS stats for the highway. They are not city streets. They are only for the highway. But yes, they do indicate that they are continuing, these incidences are continuing on a downward trend, yes.
So is it a remarkable difference, or are we just kind of seeing a slight decline, Sergeant?
We're seeing, I don't want to say remarkable yet, but we are seeing a decent decline, I would categorize it. When we look at 2024 versus 2019, we're talking over 200 fewer instances, which, I mean, any fewer is good, but 200, that's great.
That's a lot. And you said in an email to us that you may have a clue as to why this is happening. Is it something that DPS is doing, ADOT's doing? What's changed?
So I think it's a combined effort of everybody, not just ADOT and DPS. It's all law enforcement. First of all, public education against driving while impaired is increasing statewide, really nationwide. ADOT, our partners there that we work very closely with, have continued to research specific engineering aspects to the highways and those entrances. You know, we see those flashing signs now. We have the thermal cameras to capture that information sooner. Our response time is always improving. So there's a variety of factors, I think, that come into play, but I think education, engineering are huge.
Let me ask you this, because I have always wondered, how do you, as an officer of the law, approach a wrong-way driver on a freeway? I mean, how do you stop that?
Very carefully, I'll say. We are very well trained, especially our agency, in how to do this, and we have multiple different tactics to use. But ultimately, we are prepared as AZDPS state troopers to ram that vehicle to stop them, and we will take the hit so that somebody else in the public, some innocent member of the public, does not take that hit.
Ooh. I know of at least 4 incidences over the last few years. There's that one up in Flagstaff. That was a lot of great footage of that trooper just driving head on into the wrong way driver. But there's been 3 others here in the valley just over the last couple of years as well. That's got to be a scary thing to do.
Yeah, I have stopped a wrong way driver. I did not have to ram them. In my case, it was an elderly subject who was just confused. Those ones tend to stop when they see flashing lights coming straight at them. It's the ones that are impaired that tend to keep on driving. And those ones, it's absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine it, even though I've gone through the training. But yeah, you're looking at, okay, I'm probably going to get significantly injured, or I could even die in this moment just ahead here.
So let's talk a little bit about, because you mentioned elderly people and they see the lights and they're kind of law-abiding little citizens, and the people who are impaired don't, because impaired. How does it break down? Because I always assumed that it was mostly drunk people.
So the majority is going to be impaired drivers. Not all of them, but the majority are. I don't know what the exact breakdown is, but I do know that the majority are impaired drivers.
Oh. So when you go to educate the public on stopping wrong-way drivers, what do you tell people? I mean, obviously you tell everybody don't drink and drive, but still people drink and drive.
Mm-hmm. We say, driving impaired is big, but what our big pushing kind of talking point right now is this is not going to stop, or at least on the impaired side, it is not going to stop until society takes responsibility for their own actions and for those around them, and they do not make that conscious decision to drive while impaired, or they do not let their friends and family who are around them that they know are impaired pick up the keys and drive. Until we can stop ourselves from doing that, the majority of these will not stop.
And that doesn't just happen in the moment. Like you see somebody who's messed up and you're like, yeah, you can't drive right now. But somebody who's obviously has a problem, you got to approach them before that ever happens, they end up the wrong way on a freeway.
Absolutely. There's so many resources out there, not only for just driving, such as Lyft, Uber, any of those resources, just a taxi or a bus. But there's so many resources to get the help that you need if you do have an addiction problem with any substance. In this day and age, absolutely give those resources to your friends and family if you see that issue.
DPS Sergeant Aaron Andrews joining us here in studio. We really thank you, because I can't think of anything more frightening than, coming into work and dealing with a wrong way driver on the 51, for instance. It's, how do you dodge?
Yeah, it's.
I don't know where you're going. I don't know where I'm going now.
Just be vigilant. Stay off your cell phone. If you do see something coming up ahead, move over to the right. That's the biggest thing. ADOT's really great about putting up our signboards, or their signboards, I should say, and warning people that, hey, there might be a wrong way ahead if they do detect something or if we call something in. So just be mindful of that. Again, stay off your cell phone. Don't drive impaired. If you're not comfortable driving in that left lane at night, drive in the right lanes, since most of these instances do happen in those left, faster lanes.
That's where I stay, in the right lanes when the sun's down. All right, thanks a lot, Sergeant.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.